We just closed our 1,000th deal today. So if you are the 1,000th like on this post, we will donate $1,000 to the charity of your choice in your name. We're not going to get 1,000 likes. Welcome to another episode of Nightmare Deals, Nightmare Agents, Nightmare People, Nightmare Scenarios. Because man, do people think this is fucking glitz and glamour. Every single day, like I was on the phone with shout out Xander Dunn. I was on the phone with him yesterday. I think he'll actually watch this. And he's like, man, it looks like you're killing it. It looks like everything's going great. I'm like, fuck my life. If people knew. So we don't have to name names. Give me an agent that we have to work with regularly and a story that you're just like, this guy, and give us the context. I know you're thinking of someone. Now find the story around that person.
Funny enough, I feel like the people that we get to work with regularly are good.
There are some people who are doing this at a quote unquote high level that shouldn't be doing it. That's a fact.
I think so.
How have you been in the business this long? It's a fact. We run into them.
There are definitely people where I think what it comes down, it's an ego thing is what it comes down to at the end of the day. We all have them. Some people's are bigger than they can control. And
tell us a story. I want to hear about an instance. You don't have to name names.
Yeah.
You got one in mind?
I kind of have one in mind. I don't work with the person often, but there was a deal. I'm going to try to make this as generic as possible because I don't want to give anything.
And then at the end, I'm going to guess the agent.
So it was a bigger deal. And my clients,
go ahead.
Yeah, my clients, we had been looking for a little bit, and for what they needed, there was not much on the market. We've been low inventory, yada, yada, yada. So we finally find one where we tour it and their eyes light up. They look at each other. This is the one. Okay, great. I'm pumped. So we always start with a phone call to the agent, right? Hey, this is David. Tell me a little bit about your sellers. What can we do to make this work out for them? What terms do they need to make this go well? And from the start, it was just volatile. And the attitude was kind of, why do you need to know?
Yeah.
But in the market that we've been in, if you're not doing this, you're not doing a good job. If you're just writing up offers and just sending them blindly, you're not providing the best value to your client. So off the bat, it was volatile. We were butting heads a little bit, and I was doing my best to just kind of hold my tongue for the sake of my clients. And so we write up this offer, and then negotiations start, and it's more of the same. Yep. Just like fighting over stuff that we shouldn't be fighting over. We gave them a phenomenal offer, and it was just headaches the whole way out. And there came a point where we needed 1 day extension on our mortgage contingency. Yep. So we needed 1 day. And over that 1 day, we were up till 10 p.m. talking to attorneys, talking to the agent, her clients freaking out. They are threatening me.
They canceled the deal.
And long story short, they canceled the deal over 1 day extension on a mortgage contingency. So then we got to this point where it was like, well, they want this place. It's been on the market for a long time. It's not going to sell by the time we're ready to close. So what we ended up doing was like, okay, let's move forward. We're a day or two away from getting a clear to close. So we continued the process. We got a clear to close 2 days later, and we ended up scheduling closing. The closing date didn't change. Nothing else changes. And we closed without technically being
under contract.
The deal was canceled. Which was the first time that I've ever experienced that. And that was by far the most headbutting I've ever done with another agent, when all I'm trying to do is solve a problem for them
and their client.
So Ben, you started your career flipping houses, right? Mm-hmm. What was your nightmare flip?
This is the story of my first flip. I'll never forget it. I got some money from my dad, and 1358 North Monticello. I'll never forget the address. I walk in. Thank God I was wearing boots because I thought I was a contractor. I was 22.
Timberlands.
I walk in and it's crunch. I look down, needles everywhere. Ooh. And I'm crunching on them.
Oh boy.
It is dilapidated, $22,000. And I was a cowboy. I was like, okay, let's buy this thing. So I go in and I'm doing a lot of the manual labor, right? I don't know how to do drywall. I don't know how to do carpentry, but I'm like, if I'm going to save money so I'm shoveling these needles into garbage bags.
Oh my God.
I learned a lot about drug houses, pickle jars everywhere. I don't know if they were filled with, I think it was just pickle juice, but honestly, who knows? But the deal is, so I bought it for 22. Thank God my dad was able to, he fronted all of the money. I bought it for 22, put in 40, sold it for 128.8. And I'm like, all right, hell yeah. And quit my job the next month. Didn't quit. I was like, hey, I'm going to be doing this and thank you for everything you taught me. But that was it.
Wow. Sounds easy.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, what is a nightmare story that you've had with another agent?
So I've had many. We're going, as a team, we're approaching our 1,000th deal.
Crazy.
We need to make sure that we celebrate 1,000. We're at 980.
980. Wow. Wow. We're close.
We need to monitor that.
That's closed?
Closed.
Wow.
I'll never forget this because my biggest nightmare deal with another agent was I had like my first like whales of clients. They had a like $3.5 million budget, my first time ever. And I'm going into this showing. Like I have a tour. I have 5, 6 unbelievable places. I remember we showed Ozzie Guillen's home in Wicker Park and a bunch of other ones. And these places are sick. And rock star agent. I'm like, oh my God, this guy, he's actually meeting me. I'm kind of fanboying a little bit. And I walk in, I'm like, hey, so-and-so. And he goes, your assistant's a little shit. That's the first words out of his mouth. It's like,
wow.
Your assistant needs to get a new job. Like, because it's a 6 property tour and we move shit around.
Yeah.
Right. That's normal for us. But this person fucking big timed me.
Wow.
Yeah, fuck. Like, I have an ego too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're going to, like, this was in front of my clients.
Yeah.
And they loved the place and they did not put an offer in out of solidarity with me.
Whoa.
They were like, fuck that guy.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, and they ended up buying something sick, but goes to show you, right? That's the second time that's happened to me where clients are like, I hate that agent, horrible energy. And they link that with the property forever.
Of course. If that's the first thing that you're coming with out the door, what are you doing?
Just like,
this is a sales job at the end of the day.
They loved me, right? And then like, honest to fucking God, if someone comes and badmouths you and I don't know them and I can't, fuck them. So it's like, hey, and this is not a no-name person. Like they may know. I hope I get a fucking apology.
That's bad. I mean, and they're doing their client a disservice at the end of the day. That's all there is to it.